Welcome, beautiful damsels. Respect is earned, not demanded, yet some people never got the memo. Every woman has faced that moment, a snide comment, a dismissive gesture, or outright disrespect that makes the blood simmer. But here's the kicker, not every woman handles it the same way. While most might react with anger or frustration, the Sigma female plays by a different set of rules. She's the silent storm, the one who doesn't just confront disrespect, but turns it into her stage for dominance. Did you know that studies show people who are emotionally unshaken by provocations are perceived as more powerful and confident? That's the Sigma female's superpower. She doesn't just react, she strategizes. Imagine someone trying to belittle her, only to find themselves outsmarted and outclassed before they even realize it. This is not about shouting or proving a point. It's about flipping the script so masterfully that even the offender is left wondering, wait, did I just get outplayed? If you've ever wondered how to command respect and handle disrespect with finesse, grace, and a touch of savage brilliance, stay tuned. The Sigma female is about to show you how it's done. Number 1. The disarmingly calm response. When faced with disrespect, most people react instinctively, anger, defensiveness, or even matching rudeness with rudeness. The Sigma female, however, takes a completely different approach. She remains calm, almost unnervingly so, as if the insult didn't even scratch the surface of her composure. This isn't because she doesn't care, it's because she knows the power of controlling her emotions. Her calmness sends a powerful, unspoken message. I am untouchable. It puts her in an entirely different league from the person trying to rattle her. By refusing to flinch, she shifts the focus. The disrespect no longer reflects on her. It reflects on them. The more they try to provoke her, the more foolish they look. It's like trying to argue with a mirror that won't give you the reaction you expect. But this calmness isn't just about appearances. It's a strategic move. Staying calm allows her to think clearly, analyze the situation, and respond with precision. Her words, when they finally come, are measured and impactful. There's no need for shouting or grand gestures. A simple, level-headed statement carries more weight than any emotional outburst ever could. Even more importantly, her demeanor keeps the upper hand in social settings. People notice the contrast between her collected response and the aggressor's childish behavior. It's a subtle but powerful way to gain respect from others without having to demand it. By remaining calm, the Sigma female does more than just deflect disrespect. She dismantles it entirely, turning the situation into a showcase of her inner strength. Her calmness isn't passive. It's a quiet, deliberate power that leaves others in awe, and often regretting they ever underestimated her. Number 2, flip the narrative. Flipping the narrative is one of the most brilliant strategies a Sigma female uses to handle disrespect. It's not about confrontation. It's about taking control of the story and subtly twisting it in her favor. When someone makes a rude comment, instead of reacting defensively or showing any hurt, she reframes the insult in a way that turns the tables entirely. For instance, if someone throws a sarcastic jab at her, she might respond with an amused smile and say, "Oh, you're funny. I didn't know we were doing stand-up today." Her tone is light, her words seemingly harmless, but the underlying effect is powerful. She's taken what was meant to demean her and turned it into an awkward joke, effectively making the other person's hostility look misplaced or absurd. This tactic does more than just neutralize the insult. It forces the aggressor into a lose-lose situation. They either laugh along and play it off, which diffuses their attempt to assert dominance, or they double down, which only makes them look petty and ridiculous in the eyes of others. Either way, the Sigma female wins because she refuses to engage on their terms. What makes this approach so effective is its subtlety. She doesn't need to raise her voice, appear defensive, or escalate the tension. Instead, she shifts the energy entirely, maintaining her composure and leaving the offender scrambling for footing. It's a masterclass in control, handling disrespect with wit and elegance while keeping her dignity intact. By flipping the narrative, she doesn't just respond to rudeness, she rewrites the entire interaction to showcase her intelligence, confidence, and dominance in the situation. Number 3, turn the situation into inspiration. The Sigma female doesn't let disrespect linger as a negative force in her life. Instead, she transforms it into something powerful, fuel for her growth and inspiration for others. She understands that every encounter, no matter how unpleasant, carries a lesson. Rather than dwelling on the insult, she reflects on it, extracts its wisdom, and uses it to build herself and others up. When she shares her experiences, it's never in a self-pitying way. She reframes them as stories of resilience, showing others how to rise above negativity with strength and grace. Whether it's mentoring someone who feels defeated or speaking up in a way that empowers others to set their own boundaries, she turns personal challenges into collective victories. Disrespect becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. For example, she might recount a moment when someone underestimated her, only to have her achievements prove them wrong. But her focus isn't on revenge, it's on teaching others how to channel their frustrations into productivity. Her stories aren't just about her, they're about what anyone can accomplish when they refuse to let negativity define them. In leadership, she leads by example. She demonstrates that staying composed in the face of disrespect isn't just about personal dignity. It's about creating a culture of mutual respect and strength. Others see her as unshakable, not because she's never been hurt, but because she's mastered the art of turning those wounds into wisdom. By transforming disrespect into inspiration, the Sigma female does more than rise above. It's her way of saying, "This is how we win." She elevates herself and everyone around her, proving that no slight or insult can diminish her brilliance. In the end, she uses negativity as the foundation for something extraordinary. Number 4. Elevate the conversation beyond pettiness. When confronted with disrespect, a Sigma female understands that engaging in petty back and forth is a losing game. Instead of stooping to the level of the offender, she elevates the conversation to something more meaningful, showcasing her intelligence, focus, and poise. This isn't avoidance. It's a deliberate strategy to highlight her superiority without ever needing to directly address the insult. For example, if someone makes a snide remark about her choices, instead of defending herself, she effortlessly shifts the conversation. She might say, "Speaking of decisions, did you see the new report on innovation in our field? It's fascinating how small changes can lead to massive results." By steering the discussion into territory that reflects her intellect or ambitions, she completely derails the negativity and repositions herself as the leader in the interaction. This approach achieves several things simultaneously. First, it deprives the offender of the satisfaction of seeing her flustered or defensive. Second, it reframes the dynamic entirely, making it clear that she's uninterested in engaging with triviality. Third, it subtly puts pressure on the offender to keep up with the elevated tone of the conversation, often exposing their lack of substance. What's remarkable about this tactic is how it commands respect without confrontation. It's as if she's saying, "I'm too focused on bigger things to entertain this nonsense," but in a way that leaves no room for rebuttal. The offender is left standing in the shallow waters of their pettiness while she sails into deeper, more meaningful territory. By elevating the conversation, the Sigma female doesn't just neutralize disrespect, she turns it into an opportunity to shine. Her ability to stay composed and redirect the energy of a moment sets her apart as someone who operates on a higher level, where trivialities simply don't exist. Number 5. Use emotional intelligence as a weapon. A Sigma female's emotional intelligence is her secret weapon when dealing with disrespect. While most people react impulsively, she relies on her ability to read the room and understand the underlying emotions driving the situation. She sees through the facade of hostility and identifies the real motivations, whether it's insecurity, jealousy, or an attempt to assert dominance. This insight allows her to respond strategically, not emotionally. When someone disrespects her, she doesn't just consider how it affects her. She thinks about how her reaction will influence the dynamic in the room. Will responding sharply make her appear defensive? Will silence make the offender look foolish? She evaluates every possible outcome and chooses the response that shifts the narrative in her favor. For example, if someone makes a passive-aggressive comment in a group setting, she might respond with a light, disarming remark like, I didn't realize sarcasm was on the agenda today. What's next, juggling? Her tone is neutral, her words are clever, and the message is clear. She's not rattled. This approach subtly draws attention to the offender's behavior without making her seem combative. At the same time, she's acutely aware of the onlookers. She knows people are watching to see how she handles the situation, and her measured response showcases her confidence and composure. She uses the moment to reinforce her reputation as someone who can handle challenges with grace and intelligence. By using her emotional intelligence, the Sigma female doesn't just deflect disrespect, she turns it into a social win. Her ability to anticipate reactions and control the narrative ensures that she always emerges as the stronger, more composed individual. In her hands, EQ isn't just a skill. It's a weapon that leaves others both impressed and humbled. Number 6. Make them work for your attention. The Sigma female understands one fundamental truth. Attention is power. When someone disrespects her, it's often a desperate bid for validation, a way to provoke a reaction and feel relevant. But she refuses to play into their game. Instead, she withholds her attention entirely, making it crystal clear that their words or actions are too insignificant to warrant her time or energy. This move isn't passive, it's deliberate. By ignoring the offender, she flips the power dynamic on its head. Attention, whether positive or negative, feeds disrespectful behavior. But when met with complete indifference, the offender is left fumbling in a vacuum, their attempt to assert dominance crumbling under the weight of their irrelevance. The Sigma female doesn't roll her eyes or huff in frustration. She simply moves on as though nothing was said. Her body language is calm, her focus unwavering. If they were expecting drama or outrage, they'll find none. Instead, they're met with silence or a seamless redirection of her attention to something or someone more deserving. This strategy hits harder than any verbal comeback. It sends an unspoken message. You haven't earned a place in my world. It's not just rejection. It's a complete dismissal of their existence in her sphere. And that stings far more than any argument or confrontation ever could. By withholding her attention, the Sigma female doesn't just protect her energy, she reinforces her boundaries and sets the terms of engagement. Those who disrespect her quickly realize they've gained nothing, and worse, lost the opportunity to connect with someone of value. It's the ultimate power move, a quiet yet devastating reminder that access to her is a privilege, not a right. Number 7. Subvert expectations with polite brutality. The Sigma female is a master of turning the tables with an artful blend of diplomacy and wit. When someone disrespects her, she doesn't lose her composure or resort to blatant confrontation. Instead, she responds with a level of politeness so sharp and calculated that the offender doesn't even realize they've been disarmed until it's too late. Her words are never overtly aggressive, but the sting of her response is undeniable. For instance, if someone criticizes her ideas in a patronizing tone, she might reply with an even-tempered smile and say, "I appreciate your input. It's refreshing to hear an unconventional perspective, even if it's not entirely informed." On the surface, she's polite and respectful, but beneath the surface, her words cut deeply, exposing the disrespect without outright aggression. This tactic works because it subverts expectations. Disrespect is often met with anger or defensiveness, but the Sigma female flips the script by remaining calm, articulate, and poised. Her response forces the offender to either acknowledge her point or risk looking immature for escalating a situation she has already neutralized. Polite brutality isn't about being cruel, it's about precision. The Sigma female uses her words like a scalpel, addressing the disrespect in a way that leaves no room for retaliation. The offender is left grappling with the realization that their attempt to belittle her has only made them look foolish. What makes this approach so powerful is its subtlety. It doesn't rely on shouting insults or obvious put-downs. Instead, it allows the Sigma female to maintain her dignity while delivering a response that speaks volumes. Her politeness becomes her armor, and her intellect becomes her weapon, leaving no doubt as to who truly holds the upper hand. Number 8. Walk away with authority. The Sigma female knows that sometimes the most powerful response to disrespect is no response at all. When a situation escalates beyond reason or respect, she doesn't waste her breath trying to argue, explain, or prove her worth. Instead, she makes the ultimate power move. She walks away. But this isn't a retreat. It's a calculated, purposeful exit that speaks louder than any words ever could. Her departure isn't hurried or flustered. Every step is deliberate, her posture confident, her demeanor unshaken. She's not running from the confrontation, she's rising above it. Walking away sends a clear message. This isn't worth my time, and you're not worth my energy. It shifts the focus entirely, making the disrespectful party appear small and insignificant by comparison. What's more, the way she exits leaves no room for interpretation. She doesn't slam doors or throw parting shots. She simply disengages with calm authority. Her silence is deafening because it forces the offender, and everyone else witnessing the moment, to grapple with the weight of her absence. They're left standing in the shadow of their own behavior, suddenly aware of how unworthy it was of her attention. This tactic works especially well in professional or social settings. By walking away with grace, she retains her dignity while stripping the offender of any control over the situation. It's a subtle yet powerful reminder that respect is non-negotiable, and she won't entertain anything less. For the Sigma female, walking away isn't about avoiding conflict, it's about choosing battles that matter. By refusing to engage in petty drama, she reclaims her time, her energy, and her self-respect. Her exit becomes a statement in itself. I'm above this, and you can deal with the consequences of your actions on your own. Number 9. Transform the energy into productivity. The Sigma female doesn't let disrespect fester and poison her thoughts. Instead of ruminating on the insult or allowing it to derail her, she flips the script and channels that negative energy into something far more powerful: productivity. She understands that every slight, every jab, is a source of fuel for her fire, a reminder that her goals are far more important than any petty confrontation. When someone disrespects her, it doesn't make her angry, it makes her focused. She uses the frustration, the irritation, and the negative energy as a driving force to push her further toward her goals. Whether it's dedicating extra hours to a project, refining a skill, or elevating her success in ways that others can see, she channels the negativity into productivity that works in her favor. This shift in mindset is the ultimate form of empowerment. While others may get bogged down by their emotions or waste time dwelling on the disrespect, the Sigma female takes that same energy and transforms it into something tangible and impressive. With every insult, she tightens her resolve, using the moment as a reminder that success is the best form of retaliation. What's more, her relentless focus on achieving her goals means that, over time, her success becomes the most satisfying answer to anyone who has ever doubted or disrespected her. The best way to prove them wrong isn't to argue or engage, it's to show them that she's too busy achieving greatness to even acknowledge their negativity. Ultimately, the Sigma female's response to disrespect is never about getting even, it's about getting ahead. And that's the kind of revenge that truly matters. Every insult becomes a stepping stone on her journey to undeniable success, proving that no one can derail her when she's this focused. Number 10. Subtle humor as a deflection tool. The Sigma female has a unique way of dealing with disrespect that's both disarming and effective. She uses subtle humor. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, she turns the insult into a joke, making light of the situation without stooping to cruelty. By doing so, she not only deflects the negativity, but shows everyone around her that she's secure enough to not take the bait. For example, if someone throws a snide comment her way, she might respond with a dry, witty remark like, "Oh, I didn't realize we were auditioning for the role of most impressive opinion." Her delivery is calm, the humor is clever, and the sting of the insult evaporates before it can even settle in. What's remarkable is that she doesn't have to lash out to get her point across. Instead, she uses humor as a shield, lighthearted, yes, but with an underlying sharpness that subtly ridicules the offender's behavior. This tactic is a masterclass in emotional control. The humor disarms the aggressor and takes the power away from their attempt to provoke. By responding with levity, She makes it clear that their words have no effect on her, and that she's not going to waste her energy on something so trivial. The moment feels deflated, leaving the offender in the awkward position of realizing their attempt to bring her down was met with indifference, not outrage. Moreover, using humor shows a level of self-assuredness. The Sigma female isn't threatened by petty insults because she knows her worth. Her ability to laugh at the situation instead of getting defensive proves that she's not just confident. It's as if she's saying, "Nice try, but you'll have to do better than that." Humor, when wielded correctly, becomes her most effective deflection tool, one that diffuses tension and leaves everyone impressed by her grace and wit. In the world of disrespect, the Sigma female stands as a beacon of strength, composure, and intelligence. She doesn't fight fire with fire. She rewrites the rules entirely. With calm authority, strategic wit, and a laser focus on her goals, she transforms every challenge into an opportunity to rise higher. She never lets insults dictate her emotions or derail her journey. Instead, she uses them as stepping stones to prove her unmatched power. The true brilliance of the Sigma female lies not in her ability to handle disrespect, but in how she turns it into a force that propels her forward. She shows the world that success, confidence, and dignity are the ultimate forms of retaliation. And in the end, it's those who disrespected her who are left behind, watching as she ascends to new heights. If you found yourself inspired by the Sigma female's approach to handling disrespect, then you're not alone. And this is just the beginning. For more insights, strategies, and powerful tips to elevate your mindset and transform your life, don't miss out. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and join a community of individuals who refuse to be held back. It's time to rise, thrive, and become the unshakable force you were always meant to be. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks, damsels, for tuning in. See you in the next vid. Bye and stay blessed.